Alright, welcome back to the 90% Glitchless tutorial of Trails in the Sky FC on Manix86. On the last video we finished with the Kyle fight, so we will proceed from here. So once you finish the Kyle fight, you just board the Linde here, there's a bit of text. We're essentially going to enter 4 areas and exit right away. So you want to go up here, you go through this door and exit right away. Go this door, exit right away, go up these stairs and go down, and then outside. Select option 1 as soon as you can here. And we're gonna go all the way back out of the Linde. This time we're actually coming up in the bottom door, so you wanna go down here. Here. Go. So there's a pretty long cutscene here, so I'm going to take this opportunity to basically explain what we're going to go through for this chapter. So we're basically going to finish chapter 1 in its entirety, so we'll do the next little cutscene talks, then we'll do the menuing for the Ember Turtles, or the Armored Turtles that I tend to call them. And I will cover the turtle fight. We'll then go through Valleria Lake Shore and all the talking scenes you have to do there. And we'll talk about the glitch that can soft lock your game that you can easily avoid. And then proceed to the Sky Hideout, Sky Pirates Hideout, and the dogfight. And the escape to finish the channel. Still a bit of talking here. We're gonna get bailed out by May or Maybell. And forget Olivier. Alright, so we'll gain control soon here, and as soon as we do, we will go to the south block to the Orbital Factory to the 2nd floor. Okay. Here, go upstairs, and hold text as soon as you transition here because they start talking fast. As soon as you regain control, you're gonna leave again the way you came out from. Go down here. Now you have to go across. I like to go in an angle like this. I'm just gonna turn my camera. There's 2 doors here across. We're going into this one. You can turn your camera if you want. I just like to go into a diagonal. Talk to this guy at the Royal Guard and exit immediately. You got the little Alan Richards, Colonel Alan Richard segment. We're gonna go back into the same house we just came out of as soon as we gain control here and talk to Cecile, the older woman inside. Just a bit more text to go through here. Okay, so we gain control. We're gonna go up to New Ansel Path. Like most highways here, we're trying to avoid all fights as much as possible. Alright, dodge. Here we go. Here's the amber turtles, or like I call them, the armor turtles. And what you want to do here first is go to tactics. Let me switch my slides so you guys can see this. So you want to move Olivier with the group. So you can grab him and move him right here. And you're going to equip him on slot 2, you're going to put action 1. On slot 4, you're going to put cast 1. Slot 5, you're going to put EP cut 1. And that's it for this menu. Just going to do a save. So the turtles. It's an extremely random fight, so I'll try to explain it the best I can. The goal, if you can, is have Olivier Hellgate one of these, and so it lines up that it kills 4 of them, and that Estelle and Joshua can Hellgate the other 2. Now, the problem with that is they move randomly, not in the same order. Different spots, they bump into each other and it changes paths, so it's hard to know which one is going to be in the right spot. As a rule, I target this one with Stella and Joshua. As you can see here, they're all going to move first, which can be a good thing. Before you target, you can see exactly where they're going to line up. Like you see, this is not looking too good. I'm hoping that this one in the back here is gonna walk around everybody and target a fair amount of them. With Shara, you want to use Firebolt. I'm gonna Firebolt this one just because, you know, it looks very out of place, so there's a chance that nobody touches that one. I'll Hellgate the same one with Estella as Joshua. So how many am I getting with this? I only got 2. So as you can see, this is often what happens. They separate in a weird way. Nonetheless, this can be 2-turned, which is what you're going to aim for. It is technically possible to 1-turn, but it's only ever happened to me once. So on turn 2, ideally you want to Hellgate with Olivier, because he can one-shot these. There we go. And his CP is important in the upcoming fights. So I want to prioritize him. Now I'm just gonna load my save and I'm gonna do the fight, and it might very well look much different. So like that one on the left here is in this position, and that one at the top as well. This one is going to move again, so hopefully it moves in line with these 3 over here. It's a little hard. Okay. So this is actually a better setup, because these Hellgates should kill these last ones. the firebolt should hit the lonely one in the back. So this is, while still a second turn, it's about as close to a first turn you can get without first turn. That was really close. So if you find a way to manip this, please let me know, but for the time being, it just seems like very RNG heavy. I could have firebolted here with Valleria, which would take a little bit less time to cast. Okay. Next up is all the Valleria Lakeshore stuff, which is mostly just talk this, walk over here. There's no battles or anything. As soon as you gain control here, you're going to enter the cottage. You're going to go talk here to, I just forgot his name, Leonard. And you'll exit, go to the dock over here, talk to Lloyd. As soon as we gain control of our characters, we'll go back inside and talk to Safina, the receptionist. We'll select option 2 as soon as we can. Yep. We'll gain control of Estella here. As soon as we do, we'll go inside and outside again immediately. Head over here. Check this, select option 1, back inside, talk to Sophia to get the rod back so you can fish. Select option 1 to fish. So I'll select option 1 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3, and then select option 4 as quit, or option 2 selection. Right, as soon as we gain control of Estella again here, we'll go to the leftmost dock so we get the cutscene with Joshua. As soon as we gain control of both of them shortly, you'll leave this area and select option 1 when Estella turns around. Here. Go. Option 1. We're gonna go inside. Now, here you can talk to Shara or ODB. They're both over there on the table. Now, the fastest way to reach them is here, right by these chairs. But what often happens to me is I'll bonk into this counter, or I'll bonk into the chair, I'll even bonk into this rail. But if you can get accustomed to walking here, talking to sheriffs faster, I personally like to go here and walk around. Dr. Olivier, that's fine as long as you talk to one of them. As soon as we gain control, we'll go outside using the nearest doors. So you'll go here and here, out here down the steps to the dock. And as soon as you gain control, you'll go back up where we were, but you're going to go to the second floor onto the top. So up here again, go up here. You can turn your camera angle here. I like to turn my camera angle the less as possible and just learn the movement. But yeah, as long as you're standing on the second floor on the front side of the cottage, then this scene will trigger. You can see here from the cutscene coming back where we are. We'll go back down where they are, trigger another bit of text. Here, as soon as you gain control, you're gonna leave Valleria Lake Shore. I'll make a safety save here just in case. Maybe I'll showcase what happens here. I think that's the best thing to do. So there's this cutscene normally, and like we said for cutscenes, normally you hold your cancel button here. It can soft lock the game. We'll see if it happens here. I'm just gonna hold cancel. What's gonna happen is Josette's gonna show up, and then all of these sky pirates are gonna do like a text box together, like a multi-text box right here. It didn't freeze this time, but it can. So I'm going to explain to you how to avoid the soft lock 100% of the time. I'll just reload my game real quick. It's actually faster to quit the game and reload it in a situation like that. So I'll explain in detail what I'm looking for here. So there's no problem here until Josette and Kyle show up. So just hold text like you normally would here. I'll show you guys what my cue is. Whenever there's like a sign on all of them popping up after Josette shows up is when I let go my match. Just gonna talk a bit here. They're all gonna do a reaction right there. Here I let go of my match and I do my quick alterations that we talked about between confirm and cancel, like this, and as soon as the screen goes dark again, you can start holding again. So as long as you avoid those last couple text boxes while holding, you'll have a 100% guarantee that the game won't crash or soft lock. The game actually stays on, the music plays, but it won't proceed past the ending cutscene there. Yeah, it's the only known place that this can happen if you're using the built-in mash cancel. There are many other instances if you're using your own form of turbo, which we won't cover in this, but if you play a no field turbo, for example, there are going to be several places that this could happen to you. or if you're using your own turbo controller instead of the built-in one. So now we're gonna go through this Sky Pirates hideout, the Secret Hideout. So mana is really important here, so on our way to the Dawn fight we need to basically alternate the usage of Hellgate on Estelle and Joshua. But another one of our goals, which I'll switch my slide here before this fight starts. Okay, that was my slide for the image. Let's just look at it one more time. It's sort of like that when they all talk right before the end. Okay. Alright. So the Secret Hideout, the goal here is before the Dawn fight, which is the boss fight. We need Shara and Olivier to be at 100 CP because we'll need their S-crafts. So this is how these fights are constructed. Alright. So this first fight, what you want to do is Joshua, you Hellgate one of them, doesn't matter which one. With Shara, you will cast Aerial between both. You can press up 3 times here if you want to know the quick shortcut to touch both. And you'll Hellgate the other one with Olivier, and you'll skip Estelle's turn. Okay, that's what you do every time. That doesn't change. This fight is consistent. Now we're going to go down in several floors. I'll call this first one B1. And we got to pick up some stuff along the way. So let me just save for sure here. So in the guide you'll see I'll mention like door number 5 or door number 7. I'll explain that. So I'm on the main path here, and every off door is considered a door. So this is 1, 2. Okay. Don't take this encounter. I was just explaining something here. Let me just load real quickly once I get out of here. You can survive if you get out, but as you can see, these are pretty nasty encounters. So you can definitely take your time going around them. This is just to show how much time dodging an encounter can save throughout the run. So first we'll skip to door number 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick up this chest for the scorpion. We won't need to use the scorpion, we will sell this later. Okay, next we'll talk about the safety, which is the EP charge. So optional door 6, optional door 7. So if you go here, this has an EP charge. The reason why you would get the EP charge is for chapter 2. There's a segment where your mana is really important if you're not managing well. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm gonna drop the EP charge. So I want to show you guys the consistent way to not need the EP charge. So let's say we avoided that. So 6, 7, you'll go straight here to 8 turn. Grab the jewel ring. Come back on the main path. And we'll interact with this door with option 1. Now this is the Sky Pirates fight 2. So this one has 6 enemies. So you know how the first fight we skipped on Estelle's turn. This time it's the opposite. We're gonna skip on Joshua's turn. Now there's 6. The goal here is to have hopefully the Hellgate and the Aerial. The Hellgate from Olivier and the Aerial to kill them all, but as a safety you'll use Estelle's Hellgate. So the one I usually target with Olivier that has the most chance of grouping them all is this one here in the back. or I call it third from the left if you count like the 2 rows. So like this would be 1, this would be 2, that would be 3. This is you see fit, but sometimes they can move before you, so this is the guy I target. Now they're gonna take damage. That's wanted, because we need to build their CP. Shara's is already over 100, which is great. As you can see, they're all grouping. Now, with this towel, normally you target like the person that's the most on the right, or that's least likely not to be in the circle, which I'll target this one instead. And with Joshua, you'll skip. As you can see, he moved inside, which is perfect because this one is going to get in there as well. And with the aerial, you just want to land it right in front of you so it hits everybody. So in this case, we won't need a stealth turn, which is fine. Save her mana, because her mana is fairly counted here. There we go. So fights should always die in 2 hits. And then you got the backup of person cast. Okay. Let's go to the next slide here before we proceed. So we'll leave this door as soon as you can. Go out. Avoid this enemy if you can. I did a really poor job there. I got to run away though. There's another one to dodge here. Of course it's a tutorial, so they all want to attack. So we'll go down here to B2. A little bit of text. So there's 2 things we need to get in B2. We need to get the Stragas and the Barrel. So you'll go through, turn here, the first door. This is the Straga Ars. Watch the enemy coming out right here. Once you get to the 4-way, go down. You get the Barrel Assault. Come back. Once you get to the 4-way, go straight across. Avoid this enemy. Avoid all the enemies, probably. This is gonna happen. Just follow the main path here. Here, turn. And you'll get to the second doorway to select option 1. This one is another 6 pirate fight. In this case, you're switching back to Joshua as the target. So I'm going to target the far right one here. As you can see, they're a little bit more spread out. And I'm going to still target the 3rd from the left with Alleviate. It's the least likely one here. Target this one right here. As you can see, it looks like that one's going to be alone. So that's why you target. That's why you target a 3rd person onto the group. The aerial is big enough to get them all, and we'll skip our turn with the stealth. So this is good. Olivier has exactly 100 CPU, which is what we want, preferably. He has to be really close to basically above 90 so that he gets his S-Craft in the next fight. But if he gets it before like this, that's even better. Okay. Alright. As soon as we gain control of characters here, we'll move on to the Dawn fight. There's a bit of menuing to do first. So you'll just go straight down here when it dips and back up. This is the door. So what you want to do first here, two things. First, you want to heal your party using the tier bombs. Preferably the tier bombs first. I apologize. First, you want to use the apple ice cream. In this case, I have it. Make sure you use the apple ice cream to heal. I'm going to use a tier bomb here on AD. The reason why we heal is Kyle can potentially throw a bomb on the entire party, which is pretty devastating. The next menuing you'll do is go to Orbment, select Shara, select slot 2 and give her Death Blow 2. This is an item that will break once you use it, but it'll allow us to kill Dawn with Shara in one shot. And you want to go to Equip, Alleviate, and chain equip the Barrel Assault weapon. Right. This is sort of like the first fight that requires a little bit of forward thinking, I would say, because you need to cast your S-crafts before the enemy goes, or immediately after your arm turn. So just go in here, get the text going, and you'll get into a fight, and I'll explain it. So if she goes before you, that's fine. So with Joshua, you want to Hellgate Kyle, always. With Olivia, you want to Hellgate Josette, always. With Shara, you're gonna do an aerial that touches all three. Generally speaking, you want to watch for Dawn's position. He's always going to come down. So as you can see, like, there's a lot of areas where I could touch Dawn. So for example, if these guys have come down, you could keep your target up. But in this case, it doesn't really matter. And with Estelle, you're going to cast Morale. That's going to boost our party's power. And the way the next turns are going to turn is while Olivier is casting, I'm also going to do his S-Craft on Josette. And when Shara is casting, I'll do her S-Craft onto Dawn. And since they're grouped here, which is not always the case, the Olivier S-Craft should hit all of them, including, or at least Kyle, which is important. So he dies before he does the bomb. But they won't always be grouped. But you still want to follow this. So Olivier's going here. I'm going to press 4 because he's the 4th character as soon as he starts casting. You can wait a moment here to make sure he is touching Josette with it. There we go. Don't do anything with Joshua. Here you're going to press 3 while the aerial's going. And you'll S-Craft Dawn. And because of the death blow, he'll die to this shot. There we go. And that's it for the Dawn fight. So it's not that difficult. Like I said, if you get a bad enemy positioning and Olivier's S-Craft doesn't hit Kyle, it means you'll need to have a second turn where you Hellgate Kyle to death with your characters. But it also means he might throw a bomb at you and hit your party with an AoE. So in the event that you get hit with the AoE, you got 2 or 3 tier bombs left at this point that you can use. And you also have Estelle, which can cast tier. But you want to use the items first because you don't want to use her mana too much for the escape. So in the escape we'll be fighting more Sky Pirates. So we'll do the exact opposite. So in the last target, in the previous Sky Pirate fights, we've always focused on Shara and Olivier to lead the pack, and then Joshua and Estelle were lead damagers. In this case, it's the opposite. We want our damage to be primarily Estelle and Joshua, and Olivier and Shara are only backups. They will also soak quite a bit of damage for us. If Shara or Olivier dies here, it doesn't matter. It does a little bit, but just like a little bit of experience, and refilling their CP later on, like in the final chapter. But in this case, you want to keep them alive if possible, but you don't want Joshua and Estelle to die, so you'll just go back on your tracks the full way here. So go here, in this door there's going to be a first fight. There's a bit of text, so I will cancel. So I target the second from the left here. This is the one I usually target, because we'll need Estelle and Joshua to target the same ones. And with Olivier, we're gonna skip turn. This should all go in the circle. Fortunately, he didn't, so now we gotta improvise. So you don't want to use 2 Hell Gates per fight with Estelle and Joshua, so you'll basically want Sharon to take care of the SS here. Oh, you didn't die. That's unfortunate. I'll try an auto here. Autos are never recommended, but they can save time if you don't miss. Okay, avoid these enemies here. Oh, well, that one was really close. I barely had time to read. You only want to do the mandatory fights. Go down at the split. On our way back. There's another fight here just before getting back to B1. Same fight exactly. I'm gonna trust that they're gonna group here. Let's skip these people's turns again. Okay, so far so good. Go. Doesn't matter which person you target once they're all grouped together, as long as it hits all. Okay. Now Shara took quite a bit of damage here. There's another fight like this coming up, so just as a safety, I'm going to heal her after this fight. So I'm just gonna menu. If you have tear bombs left, use that, because they don't really serve a purpose after this chapter. Avoid this enemy. Oh, that's probably a surprise attack. Sure is. Okay. Alright, we're almost there. There's one more fight here. This one, the text starts really fast. Like as soon as you touch this transition. Okay. Shara's pretty low. They're both pretty low because of that crit. Perfect. Okay. So they haven't died. Like I said, if they would have, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but it's better if they live for the XP of this fight. Just for argument's sake here, there's a couple more optional encounters here that they could run into. So for them not to die, I'm just going to go ahead and use these last two. Well, she leveled up, so she healed. Just gonna use the last tier bombs on Renegade. Like I said, they don't matter after this. Go up, avoid this last fight. Go up the stairs. On your way out. This is the final cutscene. Alright. This is basically the end of chapter 1 here. We do need to see some text. It's a bit of a... There's a couple minutes here before we actually end the chapter. There's no fancy options to select anything here, just hold the text. Chapter ends usually split after the fade out here, after the Lindy or the airship leaves. This is where Sharon and Evie leave the party. Alright, and that's it for the prologue and chapter 1. So we're about a third of the way of the run here at this point in the videos. Just gonna make my safety. So yeah, on the next time we will cover this chapter 2, which is the Madrigal of the White Magnolia and the Rouen region, which will be covered into another video. Thanks for watching.